Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
Hi, kids. A hot tea, please.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Well, the Tennessee River, wetlands, and open fields attracts cranes and waterfowls and other birds this time of year. And they call it an exciting time at the Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge. Coming up today in our Tennessee Traveler segment with our Tennessee Traveler, Tom Adkinson, he highlights why you need to make that journey to the refuge before the middle of February. He'll have that for you coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's check out those temperatures.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Good Tuesday morning. I'm Kelly Rawson here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a check at your forecast. We are starting things off very cold for southern middle Tennessee. We started off in the teens, eventually warming up into the mid-20s for this morning, and then we will eventually warm back up into the 40s for this afternoon. We'll see a few clouds this afternoon, but no rain in sight, not only for today, but for the next several days. Again, a few clouds swinging through this afternoon and evening with temperatures again falling back into the teens for the overnight and to start off our Wednesday. However, we stay mostly clear to mostly sunny for the next several days. The next few looking fantastic. A little bit cooler for your Wednesday, and then Thursday we get close to 50 degrees here in southern middle Tennessee. And then check it out. We are in the lower 50s for your Friday. That's ahead of our next rain chance. That does come on Saturday. Rain is looking likely throughout the entire Tennessee Valley. Temperatures in the mid 50s for your Saturday. Then we cool off about 20 degrees into Sunday as that moisture gets on out of here. And then we are in for a cold spell for the second half of the weekend and then into next week.
Hello, here's the latest news and weather from Main Street Media TV. Early Sunday morning, a Cunningham home was ravaged by a fire, forcing 2 occupants to escape and seek shelter. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. A 16-year-old boy was fatally shot on Vulco Drive in Hendersonville with an 18-year-old, Amani Jordan, now wanted for second-degree homicide in connection with the case. Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice reports to City Council over 1,100 police responses to Walmart Supercenter on S. Cumberland Street in 2024, prompting discussions on store safety and potential nuisance lawsuit. In observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 20th, various federal and state offices, as well as several city services in Lawrence County, will be closed. Gallatin in Middle Tennessee experienced a significant snowfall of 3.3 inches, leading to proactive measures by the Public Works Department and Emergency Management Agency, resulting in minimal disruptions and road accidents. For more news and weather, visit us online at mainstreetmediatn.com. Thanks for watching.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
Welcome back. We all have the chance to peer through this window to see a rather beautiful sight of some incredible birds. This is at Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge, and our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson, joins us to share with us why we need to make a visit before the middle of February. Tom, first off, thanks so much for taking a little bit of time for us on your getaway.
I'm happy to do it. It's fun to talk about places where people can cure their cabin fever.
And they can do it here, but this is timely. Talk to us about what we see and can peer at through this window.
Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge is just over the state line from the Tennessee-Alabama line, directly on the south side of the Tennessee River. And it is the destination for many, many, many birds, but notably from mid-November until mid-February, about 20,000 sandhill cranes show up. Wow. And they are just beautiful birds. It's one of the great migration stories of North America. This is one of the southernmost places they will winter. And they come and just enjoy our moderate temperatures, although that might not seem so in recent days in Middle Tennessee, but in relative terms, we're okay for winter. And it's just so easy to see these masses of great big birds. They stand about 4.5 feet tall. Their wingspan is 6 feet. They're beautiful just standing there by the hundreds and hundreds in places where you stop to see them. And they're just spectacular when they take off and are in flight.
So we can check out and see the sandhill cranes, but what I think is incredible is that we have the opportunity to possibly see one of the endangered whooping cranes.
Yes, there are only about 800 whooping cranes in the world. What's amazing is that sounds like a big number because several decades ago, the number was only 14. So consequently, people have worked to get that species populating again, and they're up to 800. But out of those 20,000 sandhill cranes, every year there are 10 to 20 whooping cranes that show up, and they're even bigger. They're another foot taller sometimes. Their coloration is a little different. If you see one, you've seen something that is very, very rare.
How wonderful that would be. And what is this whole, so we get there, is this just one room? Is it set up a couple different areas? Can we go out? I'm assuming we can't go out there to be with them.
Not with them, but you can get surprisingly close. Okay. The refuge has an excellent visitor center, great displays, good explanation of the refuge and the migrations that happen. A 5-minute walk down a smooth gravel walkway leads to a 2-story observation building. It's heated. It has one-way glass in it, so the birds cannot see you, but you can see them. There are telescopes that are for communal use. There are microphones outside, so all the chattering that the birds are doing is piped in directly to you, and you can watch in total comfort. So it's an arrangement that is just ideal for you, but doesn't bother the cranes whatsoever. And if you're a serious wildlife photographer, there are, I believe I was told there were 4 photography blinds, which are sheltered. They give the photographer invisibility for the most part. Of course, there's no glass there. So the photography out of those photo blinds is really potentially quite good.
You answered the question that was in my head for those that would like to, that are those serious bird photographers out there.
Absolutely. And there are places all over the refuge where you can drive, and if you're patient, you might get surprisingly close to wading sandhill cranes. But by the way, there are about 4,000 acres on the refuge that are leased out for farming. the farmer's obligation is to leave about 15% of their crop. And that is one of the attractions for the cranes to come in, because the leftover corn and millet and a couple of other crops are their feed for the winter.
Okay. So, of course, the big draw, I would assume, would be the sandhill cranes and that chance to see a whooping crane. What are some of the other birds that we can catch this time of year?
Well, that particular refuge gets the biggest population of waterfowl that Alabama gets every year, but basically that's saying southern middle Tennessee, like 50,000 ducks and geese, white pelicans, which we're starting to see in the Nashville area now, have been for a few years, but several varieties of migrating ducks. And then through the rest of the year, that's on the north-south corridor for migrating songbirds. So there are more than 300 species of birds that cross through Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge every year. And if you're a birder, it's one of the great places to go and start checking birds off of your life list.
Are you a birder? Do you have a book with the birds that you've seen? Because you travel so many places.
That is one of the things I said, well, I ought to do that, but I don't. And one of these slow days on vacation, maybe I'll just start that list from memory.
You should definitely do that. I also want to ask you, how long should we give ourselves once we're there? Like, were you there for a while?
Yeah, I drove down from downtown Nashville. It's barely 2 hours. There's straight interstate shot. I went to the refuge, enjoyed the observation building for a couple of hours, left, went to Big Bob Gibson's barbecue, which is a magnet in the area for humans, and then went back to the refuge for more time in the visitor center and a little time in the observation. So I was on the refuge for three hours or more, and then I got back into Nashville in time for dinner.
Very nice. When did they create this refuge there in northern Alabama?
It was a spinoff of the creation of Wheeler Dam, part of the Tennessee Valley Authority development in the 30s. And it was conscious that waterfowl could be another use of the natural resource that was there after the Wheeler Dam was put in. And the land had been overly farmed. It was not in good shape. So trying to transform it into a wildlife refuge was a very thoughtful challenge to do for those people in the 30s and 40s. Okay.
And this is one of a number of stops for the North Alabama Birding Trail. Is that correct? Did I read that correctly?
Yes. And again, you don't have to be a serious birder at all, but there is a well marked out North Alabama Birding Trail. 300 stops, if I remember right. There are just so many locations that people have gone ahead of you, identified places where you can go, drive, stop, get out of your car, walk on a trail, have an observation point, and see different birds. Lake Gunnersville, which is a little bit east of Wheeler, has become a big eagles area. And there are eagles in the winter population and maybe even the residential population at Wheeler. But Lake Gunnersville particularly has become well known for its bald eagles. So there are lots of reasons to scoot around and taking advantage of that North Alabama birding trail.
Oh, Tom, thank you for bringing this to our attention, the Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge. Thank you for this. Is there anything else we should know about it before we travel to see it in person?
Well, I was going to throw in Big Bob Gibson's, but you prompted me to say it earlier. But birds and a barbecue are the two really good reasons for going there. And I enjoy doing things like that. And I encourage other people just to keep traveling.
We appreciate that. Thank you, Tom. Until the next time.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to mention one more thing. Tom does note that the Friends of Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge offers numerous hikes. They also have nature programs and talks throughout the year. Sorry to say that we did miss an event. It's the annual Festival of Cranes that happened this past weekend, but keep that in mind maybe for 2026. But do make your trip out there to the the Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel, urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Hi, I'm Riley, a certified physician associate here at Premier Foot and Ankle Centers of Tennessee. We have a couple locations, Murfreesboro, McMinnville, as well as Franklin. We treat people of all ages. We're excited to get you back on your feet and hope we can help you today.
Call us today to schedule an appointment. We look forward to seeing you.
Because here at Premier Foot and Ankle, we believe that
the journey begins with happy feet.
I met somebody that it was my mother's boyfriend, and
literally,
according
to her,
if there was a restraining order back then, it might have been filed. She was so crazy about this guy, and my father. We had a rule in our house growing up that you do not talk when your mother's boyfriend is on TV, and he was on all through the decades. It was so exciting for me to meet this person in person.
The highlight of all highlights.
Yeah.
This guy has so many amazing stories. Just take a look at the wonderful interview. We got to sit down and have some one-on-one time with none other than Pat Boone.
I grew up here. I'm one of the few entertainers who actually were born and raised here. Dinah Shore,
right?
Pat
Who
Boone.
went to school right down the road from us, right here at Hume Fogg.
Hume Fogg. I don't remember now. I can't remember any other names of people who sort of made it big in showbiz and music, who actually grew up here, and yet it's such a musical place. That's how I got started.
Now, throughout the years, you have gotten some criticism for being clean.
Oh, criticism, jokes, every kind of thing.
But you never let that bother you.
No, in fact, Jimmy Stewart said this to me, the actor. He said, you have a very clearly defined image. Don't let anybody change that. Because when you are right for a part in a movie or for whatever else is going on, then people will think of Pat Boone. If you need a milk drinking guy who can remember his lines, and now the casting directors now know, because I made 3 movies in the last couple of years playing older guys. Imagine, and they say if you want an 80-year-old to play an 80-year-old part and who can still remember his lines, go get Pat Boone. Well, I used to be the kid, but now I'm the old guy. I did a lot of movies, but none that was not G-rated. Right. I had to turn down a movie with.
If you would like to watch this show and others, be sure to download our mobile app, Main Street Media TV Mobile. You can also find our programs on streaming services that include Apple, Amazon, and Roku, as well as on YouTube, social media, and MainStreetMediaTV.com. Thanks so much for joining us on this lovely Tuesday. We hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.